the conversation I have with people all the time is, how can we get our SEO working? How can you help us with Google Ads? Can you help us with social media or LinkedIn? That's typically the concept. And sometimes people will come back to your office and say, hey, I've heard about this new whiz-bang something that we're going to do. Maybe some of you are going to go back and do this in your office tomorrow, and you're all excited about it. However, it's a tactic. And it's not wrong. You need good tactics, and revolutionary tactics are better than boring old tactics. However, it's only one question out of 3. We need to get the strategy right first, then choose the right tactics, and then we need to execute strongly. Now, any strategy needs to understand, firstly, from a marketing perspective, you've got to understand your customer. And you really need to put people first. And what I'm saying here is put all the tech in the bin. Let's forget about that for a while, and let's just think about people. So the question we ask is, how can we achieve a goal by talking to the right people at the right time with the right message? And if we're going to do that, we need to spend some time understanding people. We do this in 2 ways. We want to look at the macro. How big is your audience? Is it 100,000 people? Is it 1 million people? But we want to understand the psychological drivers that are going on in that broad group of people. What are their barriers to working with you? What are their pain points? What are they looking for? What is it they want? What is it they don't want? Who's influencing them? If we can answer those questions, we find ourselves with a rich source of material for when we're going to go and do our execution, having chosen our tactics. What typically happens, and it happened with the Japanese, they didn't understand their enemy well enough, so they executed wrong, despite having the best tactics. In marketing, we don't understand our customers properly, and so then we execute poorly. What we also do, though, is we don't want to just look at the macro. We also want to look at the micro and look at the story of one person. I feel this is very important because it gives us empathy. The big picture doesn't give us empathy. So if you understand one person, you've walked a day in their shoes, when you go to write that social post, you go and record that video or write that blog article, you're writing to a person. You're not writing to an ethereal big group of people.